Hello listeners and welcome back. Today we are going to be discussing 10 random movie recommendations for you. This video will include a wide range of recommendations from true stories to thrillers to live action. This list is in no particular order and all of these recommendations will be movies released from 2020 to 2023. Starting off this video with our true stories section. Coming in at number 10 we have House of Gucci, a crime drama released in November of 2021. We follow Patrizia, played by Lady Gaga, an average woman who marries Maurizio Gucci, played by Adam Driver, therefore thrusting her into the elite and glamorous world of the Gucci brand. As the two romance transforms, a fight breaks out over the control of the infamous brand. This causes Patricia to spiral recklessly into a descent of betrayal, revenge, and even murder. House of Gucci is a true story. I don't think it is the exact adaptation of what happened, but the movie is inspired by true events. Still sticks to the general flow and outcome of what really happened. House of Gucci details the raw and dark relationships and dramas that take place in families that are involved with elite businesses and brands. It showcases the value of trust and what one can do when that trust is broken. Overall, it outlined and showcased all the dark sides that come along with money and power. I know that I was certainly surprised to find out that one of the most famous and luxurious brands had such a deep and dark backstory. Next up at number 9 we have Air, a sports drama that was released in April of 2023. Air held an all-star cast with Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Chris Tucker, and Jason Bateman on this inspiring true story of Nike recruiting Michael Jordan and creating a partnership that revolutionized sports culture. On the verge of shutting down its basketball shoe division due to low sales, Sony, played by Matt Damon, is the new spokesperson for Nike's basketball shoes. Needing someone to represent their new line, Nike turns to NBA star Michael Jordan. But with Michael being both fans of Adidas and Nike, as well as being too expensive, they might have to go with another choice. After Sony reviews Jordan's highlights, however, he is determined to do everything in his power to convince Jordan to choose Nike and be the face of their new brand. It was interesting watching the ins and outs and backstory of the famous brand that we all know it is today. Next, coming in at number 8, we have True Spirits, a sports adventure released in January of 2023. This inspiring true story is about an Australian teenager, Jessica Watson, who aspires to be the youngest sailor to travel the world alone. At the age of 16, she sets out to fulfill her dream. Along the way, she endures inspiring new challenges, as well as taking in all the breathtaking experiences and scenery, all the while facing her greatest fears alone. The real events of this story took place in the year 2010. September of that same year, a documentary was released about the events. Since then, she has also written a book that have now been adapted into a feature film. This story gained a lot of popularity all over the world, but particularly in Australia, and surprisingly entertaining and engaging for a one-woman show. The movie is a very inspiring watch and would recommend checking out. Next, coming in at number 7, we have Elvis, the musical drama that was released in June of 2022. In this adaptation brings the outstanding and jaw-dropping performance of the iconic pop culture icon Elvis Presley and his rise to fame in the music industry. This movie knocked it out of the park with its performances from Austin Butler bringing to life Elvis Presley like never done before, and unrecognizable performances from the likes of Tom Hanks, who played Tom Parker. The movie not only showcases Presley's rise to fame, but also how he used that fame to highlight racism within the country. We also got an inside look into the sad and dark story of what was really going on behind the scenes throughout Elvis's career. It was a phenomenally done, well adaptation and deserves all the praise that it gets. Now let's move on to the mystery thriller section of the video. Coming in at number 6, we have Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, a mystery crime released in December of 2022. This is the second installment to the Knives Out franchise, coming back strong with a well-familiarized cast with the likes of Madeline Klein, Kate Hudson, Daniel Craig, and Edward Norton, to name a few. When tech billionaire Miles Bron invites his friends for a getaway on his private island, things take a dark turn when someone turns up dead. But not to worry, as Detective Blanc is put on the case. The second installment keeps us engaged on the edge of our seats with an all-new mystery. With someone dead and a killer on the loose, you never quite know what is real and who to trust. This film definitely delivered in a thrill and a mystery, wrapping it all up with a clever twist. Coming in at number 5, we have Fall, a suspense thriller released in August of 2022. We follow two best friends, Becky, played by Grace Caroline, and Hunter, played by Virginia Garden, as the two decide to climb a 2,000-foot tall abandoned tower. Once they make it to the top, the ladder breaks and the two find themselves stranded. This film lived up to being both suspenseful and thrilling, as you are watching two girls stranded and forced to survive meters in the air on a small platform, with no way of getting down or calling for help. It kept you glued in and engaged as you were constantly trying to figure out how these girls were going to get down or if they were going to survive. Coming in at number 4, we have The Menu, a horror comedy released in September of 2022. The Menu stars Ralph Fiennes, Nicholas Hoult, and Anna Taylor-Joy. A couple travels to an exclusive island to try a chef's lavish new menu. When they get there, however, shocking surprises await. The Menu was a uniquely shocking story. The night started out normal with guests being served different meals. It did not take long for things to take a shockingly extreme turn. We watch as creepy and mysterious things start happening to the guests. Instead of this being a typical thriller with a mysterious bad guy working behind the scenes, this movie took a different approach by layering the story with a deeper meaning and depth. The Menu is a lot more of a slow-paced thriller. However, the story is incredibly unique and sets out a thriller in a way that it has never been done before. Now moving to the last section of the video, we have the live action. At number 3, we have Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, an adventure comedy released in March of 2021. This is the second installment to the Peter Rabbit franchise and brings back Rose Byrne as Bean and Donald Gleason as Thomas. In this sequel, we follow Peter as he runs away from his human family when he hears that they're going to portray him in a bad light in their new book. Soon after running away, he comes across an old rabbit who ropes him into doing heists. This movie brings on new adventures for Peter and his friends. They overcome new obstacles and meet new friends along the way. Overall, it is a good comedic fun to watch, and a well-done sequel following the success of the first film. Coming in at number 2, we have The Call of the Wild, a family adventure released in February of 2020. We follow Buck, a giant yet generous dog who is helplessly abducted from his family home. This then sets off a chain of adventures for Buck. He starts off by being locked up and shipped away, to then being trained as a sled dog, to be left as the only survivor out of his pack, to then finally being taken in by John, played by Harrison Ford. It is with John that Buck finds his true meaning and purpose. The Call to the Wild was a great watch and beautiful story, and it doesn't get nearly as enough hype as it should. The story was very unique, meaningful, and deep. It made you laugh, it made you cry, and leaves you feeling very nostalgic and content. I highly recommend watching it, as it is a deeply beautiful story. Next, taking the number 1 spot is Marcel, the Shell with Shoes On, a comedy fantasy that was released in September of 2021. Now, this guy is so cute. If you don't know who Marcel is, you are for sure missing out. Marcel is a 1-inch tall shell with shoes on. After an old resident moved out, resulting in the loss of his family, Marcel now lives alone with his grandmother. When Dean moves into the Airbnb, it doesn't take long for him to discover Marcel. After learning about his story, Dean starts to make short films of Marcel and posting them to YouTube. It doesn't take long for Marcel to go viral and gain many new fans. This opens a new hope for Marcel in one day finding and reuniting with his long-lost family. Marcel is an adorably cute story and entertaining watch. It's very fun and interesting seeing all of the activities that Marcel gets up to around the house, as well as the materials he uses to achieve certain activities. We watch Marcel form a special bond with his grandma and have the two of them grow closer together. Marcel is a very simple and light-hearted watch for any and all to enjoy. Plus he's just so gosh dang adorable. That is all for this video. I hope you guys got some new fresh recommendations. And let me know if you want more recommendation videos like this. What recommendations from this video did you like or maybe didn't like? What are some movies I should include for next time? Also, let me know if you want a more in-depth review on any of the movies I have mentioned. That is all for this episode. As always, everything we discussed will be linked below along with my socials. Please be sure to like, subscribe and follow. Feel free to leave all your thoughts and comments below. Thanks for listening. That is all for this episode. As always, everything we discussed will be linked below along with my socials. Please be sure to like, subscribe and follow. Feel free to leave all your thoughts and comments below. Thanks for listening.